Alright, back by popular demand. Let's review these four little problems right here. So, first one says that I have to subtract, so I have to do the function f and I subtract g from it. So, number one is going to look like this: 3x minus x divided by x minus 1. Trick is I have to get a common denominator, so I'm going to multiply this side by x over x and this side by x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Now a lot of people, sometimes they want to reduce these, but then that puts you right back where you started. So our denominator needs to be x times x minus 1. You don't need to distribute the denominator. This is 3x minus 3 minus x squared. So if I wanted to clean this up a little bit, it could be minus x squared plus 3x minus 3 divided by x times x minus 1. And the only thing I could get in trouble with this is if this was factorable and it had a factor of x minus 1. If it did, I'd have to take care of that and reduce. I can't reduce the x's because there's not an x in every term in the numerator. This turns out this is not factorable other than taking out a negative 1. So I can't reduce. I am D-O-N-E finished. Number 2 says I add them. Add them, not add them. Anyway, gotta add these up. It's the same exact thing, except it's going to be a positive x squared. And the same deal with the previous problem. I need to make sure that this is not factorable. If it was, I would look for a factor that's either x or x minus 1 so I could reduce. Can't be done, so done. Number 3, I have to multiply them. 3x times x minus 1. Now I reduce. That's 3 divided by x minus 1. Easy. Number 4, the notation between number 3 and 4 can be confusing. In the United States, we would write this for number 4, or we would write this, but the way Cambridge writes it is like that. So when you take your Cambridge test, that's what you're going to see. These are totally different. This, you're multiplying this one, you're taking the second function f, or g, plugging it into f. So it's going to look like this: 3 divided by, now let's see here, so it's going to be, so here I'll show you, it's 3 divided by x, and I have to replace, let's see here, this says I have to replace x with a g. So I have to replace this with this whole thing right there. So I have to plug that whole thing in. I just put parentheses, and whatever g is, I plug it in instead of x. So it's going to be 3 divided by x minus 1. So I multiply by the reciprocal. So 3 over 1, of course, times x minus 1 over x. So it's 3x minus 3 divided by x. That's it. Now if it asked you about the domain, which it didn't, but if it did, x could not be 0. Because you'd set this equal to 0 and solve it. It's already done. If it asks you for the domain for this one, x could not be 1. It would be all numbers except all real numbers except 1. For this one, x could not be 0, or for this one, x could not be 0, or x could not be 1. Same here. Hope this was helpful.